This is Justin Hogan of the Moody Herald here with Jay Brown, the new football coach for Moody. Mr. Brown, how's it feel to be in Moody?
I'm very proud and excited. It's a great feeling.
What was it about Moody that you wanted to come here? What made you want to come here?
Well, I'm familiar with the community and the school, and competing against them, in the past, and just being in the community some, and I've always really liked it, and I've always thought it was a great school and a classy place and a place that I've always just admired.
You have more than 20 years of experience, and 10 of those were with Pell City nearby. What can you tell us a little bit more about your coaching career?
Well, this will be my 27th year total. I was the head coach at Pell City for 9 years, and I was the head coach at Guntersville High School for 3 years. I was the defensive coordinator for McEldory High School for 3 years, and I was an assistant football coach at Jacksonville State for 11 years. And held various jobs there, defensive line coach, recruiting coordinator, co-defensive coordinator, and so that's my 26 going on 27 years.
Some coaches, head coaches, are known for their defensive work, like Nick Saban, some for their offensive. It looks like you lean more toward the defensive side.
I do. I mean, I've always coached on the defensive side. All my time at Jacksonville State was spent on the defensive side, so that kind of got my career off that way, on the defensive side, and I've kind of always stayed that way. But, as a head coach, you really have to be involved in offense, defense, and kicking game, and so I'm always involved in both, but I do consider myself a defensive coach.
And so, having that in mind, what kind of offense do you prefer to run, or do you base it around the players, or is there something that you prefer to have?
Well, I think you do base it around, the players, but I do have a philosophy, in mind that I'd like to implement, I actually, starting 10 years ago, I knew I wanted to be able to be a balanced team, and I never wanted to be a one-dimensional team, offensively. I didn't want to just be able to run, and then you can't even, throw a forward pass. And then on the other respect, you don't want to be able to not be able to run the ball. So I guess in a perfect world, I would like to have about a 60-40 mix, with run being 60, pass being 40. But to me, you just got to be proficient at both of them. And, I like a mixture of a spread offense with the passing game and the spread running game, and then mix that in with, a power running game with a lot of play action pass off the power running game. So kind of a mixture of all that is what I really would like to do.
And how much have you settled in here just yet? Have you had a chance to meet your coaches or anything like that?
I haven't really. That's all I've really done is I have had a chance to meet them, and I believe I'm going to meet the players tomorrow morning. And but other than that, I haven't really had a whole lot. I've looked at the facilities, today some, and last week some. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do much, but just think. I've kind of made a lot of mental notes and on some things that I need to be working on right away, and hopefully, in the next week or so, we can start accomplishing things.
And what are some of those things you need to work on to get Moody started?
Well, I think there's really, to me, several things. One would be, I would like to, show a change in kind of everything that we're doing. One, of course, I'm looking forward to spending time with the players, although I know, this time of year you really never have the whole team, because you got people involved in other sports in the spring. But I want to start trying to, teach lessons about the game that I want to teach, and I think there's a lot of things we need to do facility-wise. Just take one room at a time in the field house and try to do something to it. Make it a little better. There's a lot of things I've kind of seen that we need to get, that I need to try to find a way to come up with some different things, equipment-wise. I think there's a big need equipment-wise, and really just other things that I'm working on right now, trying to make a list of priorities, so to speak.
And one of the things you talked about here in your introduction was doing everything with class, and you thought that was number one. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, to me, having class is to give you an example of how it carries over to the football field, is our football team, we're not going to get in fights on the field. I mean, that's not going to happen. We're not going to talk to officials. We're not going to get into what we call chicken fighting, after a play and stuff like that, getting a lot of personal fouls. If we get a personal foul, I want it to be, for a late hit that's just from hustle, barely late or something, not anything blatant. And, to me, that's how you always look sharp. Your jersey's tucked in. you know, and you play the game physical, but you play with class. You know, you don't do anything that would make you or your program look bad in any way.
Well, Coach, thanks for taking the time out, and we're glad to have you here in Moody. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.